Hairstylist, when does it end? When will you actually start to put yourself first so you can make more money, keep more money, and do it without feeling guilty? I'll tell you when, right mother effing now. Welcome to the Make That Money podcast with Nina Tulio, where we talk all things pricing, all things profit, and how to build your business with confidence. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the Make That Money podcast. Today, we are going to discuss the discounting dilemma. Let me say this. I was the discount queen as a salon owner in the early years of being a salon owner. So I understand what it looks like when you just have this urge to discount your services. Basically, what you're doing is discounting your time and your talent. But there is this feeling like, well, if I don't discount them, they're going to get upset. Or if I increase my prices, they're going to get upset. Or if I charge them full price, they're going to leave. And we have all of these emotions that get wrapped into why we discount services. And so my question to you is, and if you haven't listened to episode 1 and 2, go back and do that, because that's where we really talk about the foundation of getting your money story and your relationship with money aligned. And if you have been, because listen, lately, it has been a little tough for some people. You know, it has been a little bit difficult. There's been a lot of cancellations. There's been a lot of clients pushing out their services. There have been clients that have been spending less. There have been, people who have been canceling appointments and not rescheduling. And so there is a time, and some of you, not all of you, but some of you have been feeling it a little bit, and it's becoming, it's starting to add some pressure to the way that you're growing your business. But here's what I really want you to think about. When times get tough in your business, when things become difficult financially, do you automatically revert to, or maybe live in, the mentality of, I have to discount, I have to reduce my prices, I have to give them something for free? So maybe you're already living in that space and that's just kind of your normal, right? Or maybe you have been working on your relationship with money and you've been working on trying to change some of your patterns and behaviors. But then when times get tough, you feel that push to go back to and revert to, I got a discount, I have to start giving things away for free. So this is what we talk about this a lot and Make That Money. And I've seen some patterns. That's my course for my independent artists. And I've seen some patterns there where students go through the course and they feel really good. And the course is all about, pricing and profit and building confidence, just like this podcast, right? And they do all of the exercises, they get all of the facts and data, and they feel so good. And then when things get tough, or when a client questions them about a price increase, or, someone says, I can't afford your prices, they have that feeling of, I'm going to go back to the old me. I'm going to go back to the way that I did things before because that was comfortable. And the goal here with the podcast and even with my course is to get you to, it's okay to feel those things because I felt them many times. But the goal is to have such a solid foundation in who you are, how you run your business, your relationship with money, and how you are living in your truth when it comes to your money story, and even the greater goal and dreams that you have for your business, is that you feel the feels, but you don't revert back. You feel the feels and you push through. So if you are someone that has been going through a rough time, if you're feeling like you're going to revert back, or maybe some of you have even reverted back, and even going back from COVID times, right? Some of you, made some really big shifts and pivots in your business, and then things started to get a little bit heavy and you reverted back. That's a clear indication to me that there's just some foundational work that needs to be done, right? And it could be just educating yourself more on your relationship with money, educating yourself more on the foundation of what your money story is, and going back to episode 1 and 2 and really diving deeper into that. And I'm going to tell you, and this is a very personal thing. And I share a lot of this, on my Instagram and with my coaching clients and things like that. when my business was suffering and my business was in its lowest state of the $90,000, how to sell my house to, keep my business, all of those things, there was not 1 ounce of me that thought I'm going to reduce my prices. There was not 1 ounce of me that thought that I'm going to take my price list, deconstruct it, and take 10 to 20% off, roll out a new price list, and just serve my clients in a way that is more conducive to their behaviors. The reason why I'm telling you this is because some of you that have been going through some difficult times, or, you see shit on Instagram, and there have been a couple people who are like, I'm reducing my prices by 20%. Hear me loud and clear. There isn't a business on the planet that I know that would be okay with reducing their income, because when you reduce your prices, you reduce your income by 20%. Now, there may be large corporations that can absorb that kind of hit, but I'm talking about small businesses. There isn't a small business that's like, okay, let's just reduce our prices by 20%. We're okay losing, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a year, whatever that looks like. It's not okay. It's not okay for you to, put yourself on the back burner, put your business on the back burner just to accommodate client behaviors. Now, there are things that I'm going to share with you in ways that you can accommodate the client, but doesn't compromise your own business. Because when you reduce your prices, you're accommodating the client, but you're compromising your own business. And it's just not the right thing to do, because then guess what? If you reduce your prices, you've got to climb out of it somehow. Now you're going to have to start all over again with doing price increases and going through all of that. And it's very emotional. And so before I give you the 5 things that I really want you to do, if you are in the feels right now of how, your business is kind of moving and shaking, here's one last thing that I really want to drill into your mind. When you discount 5 clients a week, just by $20, 5 clients a week by $20, you're losing $5,200 a year in sales, in revenue. And if you're at a $100 average ticket, you have to see and seek out 52 new clients for that year to make up for it. So let me repeat that. If you discount 5 clients just by $20 a week, you're losing $5,200 in revenue for the year. Now, you have to make up for that revenue somehow, right? So you're actually, and this is at a $100 average ticket. So you're going to have to calculate your own average ticket. It's going to vary and be different for you. I'm just giving you an example. So in order for you to make up for that loss in revenue at a $100 average ticket, you have to seek out 52 new clients for the year to make up for the difference. So every time you discount, yes, you're losing money, but now you're making it harder for yourself, because now you have to figure out how the hell you're going to get 52 new clients a year in your business. And we all know that it is a lot easier to keep the clients that we have than it is to go out and find new clients. It's more cost effective. It's less time and less money and energy to keep the clients that we have than it is to find new. Now, should you be finding new clients? Of course, but it's a lot of work is what I'm saying when you discount. So here are the 4 things that I really want you to focus on. And again, I'm speaking from experience and what worked in my business when I lived through the recession, where I was at my darkest time, my darkest hours. And I'm like, shit, I got to do something here, or my business is going to literally close. So tip number 1, I want you to focus on building client relationships. I don't care what anyone says on Instagram, on TikTok. This business is built on relationships. The reason why we were able to save the business, and I say we because my team was a very big part of that. The reason why we were able to save my business was because we focused heavily on client relationships when we were going through a rough time. And it continued. It really was what my brand was all about. It was a feel brand. And so we dove deeper into our client relationships, understanding and being compassionate as to where they were coming from, right? working from a space of empathy and kindness. Now, that doesn't mean that you give free shit away. It just means that you show up in a way where you truly understand what they're going through and where they're coming from. And then number two, this is the other side of that coin, is instead of offering discounts, you have an options menu. An options menu, you don't lead with an options menu. You don't post this on your website. An options menu is a back pocket menu that has all of your services listed out for you and your team. And it's all based on your target price per minute, price per hour, but you have an option to offer them as opposed to going and reverting back to discounting. So an options menu looks like this. Karen comes in. She says she can no longer afford the full balayage because she's struggling. We feel bad. We understand. We're so sorry, Karen. So no worries. You can't afford your full balayage. Let's talk about some options that I have that I think would work well for you. Let's talk about a mini balayage that's going to look like this, show the image, and it's going to cost this, right? That still doesn't work for me. Okay, then let's talk about doing a face frame. Let's showcase what that looks like, because we're going from, I'm sorry, I skipped a piece. We're going from a full balayage to a partial balayage. I screwed that up. So full to partial. Here, Karen, here's what the partial looks like. Show image. Here is the price on the partial. If the partial doesn't work, then we move into a mini. Okay, that doesn't work for you. No worries. I understand. Let's talk about a mini. You show the image, you tell her how much that costs. That works perfect. Great. Now, the reason why an options menu is important because it's already pricing your time and your amount of product, and it's based on target price per minute, price per hour. If you haven't taken my free pricing class, please go on my website, ninatulio.com, check it out. You're setting yourself up to win. You're not reverting back to the discounting because you have an options menu. The client gets what they want. They're happy. And an options menu could be, it's a partial, it's a mini, it's a T-zone root touch-up, it's an express treatment. There's a lot of ways that it's a face frame. There's a lot of ways that you can navigate this, but the options menu slides in for the win. Number 3. So we have focus on relationships, creating an options menu. Number 3 is adding value in ways that most people do not want to add value. And I have a whole system in my courses of how we go from start to finish with taking care of the clients and creating an excellent client experience. And it starts before they even come in. What does your booking program look like? Is it convenient? Do you have an intake form? Do you have added value services on your intake form so you can upsell them before they come in? What does your consultation look like? Is it digital? Is it in person? And I recommend an extended consultation for new clients. Shampoo experience. The list goes on and on, following up with your clients, but adding value in ways that most people won't, again, is creating that relationship with your clients. So even when they go through a rough time, they're going to continue to love you, trust you, and come and see you because they know you're going to take care of them. Last but not least, if you are losing clients, if you feel like, your clients are stretching out appointments, if you're not retaining, right? So losing clients, the same thing, not retaining clients. We've got to dive into that specifically because when you lose clients, it has to do with price versus value, client experience, and the quality of work, right? But maybe you're not serving your target client. So what I suggest doing, and is action item number 4, is dialing in your target market client, what that looks like. Who are they? Where do they live? What do they do for a living? What are their hobbies? How old are they? Right? Dial that target market client in, look at your current clients that you have and say, okay, maybe there are a lot of my clients that are my target client, but there also are some that are not. I suggest getting out there, putting yourself out there in the world, not just on social media, but putting yourself out there and starting to meet new clients that are your target market client. The other thing that I suggest that you do is utilize the clients that already know, love, and trust you. This is where referral programs come in, VIP referral programs come in, because now you're leaning into the support that you already have from the clients that love you. And now you can reward them for sending in their friends and family. So focus on the target market clients that you have, but also look outside to see where you can connect with and bring in new clients that are your target client. So, I want you to sit on this. This is a lot of information. I want you to feel really, really good about the decisions that you're making in your business. If you have any questions, please slide into my DMs at Nina Tulio. I would love it if you would write a 5-star review. This is a new podcast, so all the reviews that you share absolutely matter, and they are so appreciated. And please feel free to check out all of my resources and my courses on my website at ninatulio.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.